Hi everyone, Speedo here from Designated Driver series. In this episode, we're going to talk about all the advancements we've made in the field of medicine. We will cover three broad topics. One of them is around CRISPR and gene editing. Mind you, if you don't know what CRISPR is, don't worry yourself too much because it's already been replaced by prime editing. We will also have a chat around Xenobots, what the hell they are and why they are useful, if they are useful. And finally, we will talk about Halicin, which is a new antibacterial that we've created. But while I will cover all the fun facts and the interesting science behind everything, I've got my co-hosts Sven and Rebecca that will cover just about anything not related or all these scenarios of what if, right? So let's go pick them up. And now I'm here to pick up my friend Sven. Hi Sven.
Hello. Corona shake, how are you?
Absolutely, I'm doing great, thank you. Yourself?
Very good, thanks.
So Sven,
yes,
I've already told our viewers what we're going to talk about. What are your thoughts?
So these are very, very interesting subjects, and if you haven't Googled them, hopefully after we've spoken about them, you will Google them. Because basically, CRISPR, very powerful gene editing tool. We did not invent it, but we're certainly trying to perfect it. Xenobots as well, again, creating organisms, creating living organisms that we get to control. That's very, very interesting. You will be Googling that after us. And Halicin as well, using AI to a whole different level, basically, around infections and bacteria.
Sven, very high level, complex topics. And yet we've got Rebecca to pick up. What are we going to do about that?
Well, you've got to balance these things out. You can't just have two
fun facts.
Fun facts, exactly. You can't just have two self-proclaimed geniuses and industry experts in pretty much anything that we Google. We've got to balance that out with someone who doesn't do any Googling at all.
Any research whatsoever. Yes. How do you think she's going to cope with all these?
Well, it's a bit strange because normally, you know, if she's going to add any value, it would be by staying sober and driving us around, but she's not even doing that.
I know, I'm the sober one this week.
And that worries me, actually. How are you going to be as a designated driver? You do know your responsibilities, right?
Absolutely, Sven. I've already had 4 shots and nothing more.
Fantastic. The other responsibility that you should work on is actually having some fun facts that are in fact fun and facts.
They are facts. They may not be fun, but they're definitely facts.
I'm just trying to provide some career guidance over here. If you're going to do a fun fact, make sure it's 2 things. Fun fact. It's in the title. We need to pick up,
unfortunately,
Rebecca, and here she is. Hello.
What's up, people?
How are you?
Hello, Rebecca.
Good, how are you?
Great, thank you.
That's
awesome.
Good. We are going to the Foragers Drop in Mitcham.
Stop it.
I
That's where we're
love
going.
this place. The owner is so fantastic. He supports all local breweries. There is loads of beers on tap. I love all the pails.
I like local breweries.
What I actually... Yes, I've realised that. What I love the most about it, besides the fact that it's all supporting our local community, is the pool table.
Can you play pool?
I can play pool like a shark.
Could you play pool by yourself so that we can have an intelligent conversation?
And bore the crap out of our audience? I don't think so. Hi, welcome to Designated Driver, where ordinary people are talking extraordinary things in technology. And today, as you just heard in the car, we're talking about medical advancements. So, that includes Xenobots, CRISPR,
Halicin.
sure.
Prime editing.
Base editing.
Boom. We've run out of words. Okay, so you said medical advancements, right? So we're talking about the human body, number one, okay? Number two, we're kind of zooming in to what people in labs are currently doing to the human body. Why are we talking about it?
I have fundamental issues with your number one. It doesn't mean human body. It means any living organism.
That is true.
Damn, just how we didn't rehearse it earlier on.
I actually
yes,
agree. And I hate
know.
myself for it.
Yeah, I hate you too.
But carry on.
No, I'm done. Go for it, expert.
Well, as the expert in all fields, medical and biological.
Did you Google it?
Absolutely.
Is that your MO?
That is, I've learned a new thing today.
Do you know what an MO is?
Anyways, we're
Can
here
you
to talk
Google
about CRISPR or gene editing.
Yes, but we haven't got to the why yet.
Okay.
Why?
Why are we even talking about
Okay,
it?
stop.
You're going straight into the technology.
No,
Who
can we
cares?
please just tell them what CRISPR is
Fine.
first? Gene editing. Okay, go.
It's not
Editing your
necessarily
genes.
gene editing.
Yeah,
It's
could be
more
your
like
blouse,
gene
it could be a shirt.
cutting. But around 3 billion years ago, fun fact, around 3...
Is it?
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
So around 3 billion years ago, bacteria figured out how to identify a virus and get rid of it in their system.
And that's called?
Well, it's kind of what CRISPR is based on, CRISPR-Cas9, right? But basically, what CRISPR is it's, let's think of it as a mechanism that goes through DNA, finds a particular strand, and cuts it out.
Well, that's
If
interesting.
a bacteria does that to a virus DNA, can get rid of the virus.
So you're sitting in a pub and someone says, hey, have you heard about CRISPR? And you're like, yeah, I'll take the salt and vinegar, right? Is that the wrong answer?
Yes.
Okay. So what is the right answer?
The right answer is
20-second delay between
Yeah.
my joke and when she got it. Maybe 5 seconds, I don't know. But the thing is, like, people are talking about CRISPR. But it's a serious thing. It is gene editing. And it's exactly what you described. We're taking DNA things and we're literally cutting and pasting. That's basically what it happens. We take out
You're not pasting, you're cutting.
Let's not get too technical here. The point of this... Okay, fine.
Let's not get
technical.
facts get into the way in a
Yeah,
good story.
Okay, come on, robot, tell us the facts.
But hang on a minute. This is a person that had to whinge about what are the facts. And then he's like, let's not get too technical.
Well, no, but okay, so we're cutting. CRISPR cuts. Okay?
Correct.
Cuts through the double helix, if you want to get all technical about
Perfect.
it. Takes out what you didn't want. This is what basically the bacteria did to the virus, right? It
Yes.
goes, you're a virus, you're not supposed to be here. I'm actually just going to cut you, right? That's the Cas9, the protein part of it. That's all super awesome. But what we've gone and done is we've gone and taken that process and said, well, we can manipulate that. We can cut things and put in things that we want into your DNA, right? That's where things start getting interesting.
Now, that actually branches into two things. This is going to be hilarious if an actual biologist or someone that actually knows what they're talking about in terms of
But
CRISPR
you're actually
listens
like
to this.
assuming that anybody is watching this at all.
Yeah,
Very
if
true.
you are clever and you do know what you're talking about, you're not our target audience.
No, we'll just interview you later.
Yeah, you can correct us.
But Dr. David Liu, father of base editing and primate thing,
Super cool guy
he
and a great
figured
speaker.
out how to effectively modify the cutting to not only cut, but also, as you put it, paste, or really just change proteins to do a change of a single base in a genome. She's getting bored.
But let me ask
So
you this.
changing
Why
your
would you do
gene
it?
to a...
Why would you do this? So great, we can cut and paste. Why would you even do that?
The reason David Liu is doing that
No,
is...
it's very
We've
interesting.
got-
Just if you could talk a little bit more interesting.
Sure,
Yeah.
we've got a
Maybe it's
lot
your face.
of
Yeah, sing it.
genetic
Can you sing it?
diseases, right?
Yes.
We've
great.
got a
I mean,
lot
we've got...
of genetic diseases.
It'd be politically incorrect to say what sort of diseases you would have genetically, but we've got a lot of these genetic
You can hate him.
We all hate it.
diseases
You can hate it too.
are effectively as a result of one letter out of the 3 billion, or one
Yep.
base being changed to another,
Yes.
a mutation that's gone wrong.
Yes. And
But
there are a
that's-
lot of diseases that occur where you could potentially stop them from happening.
Muscular dystrophy.
Correct.
There's sickle something. There's
Sickle
another
cell.
one. Sickle
But there's
cell
also-
anemia.
But also the one where kids age rapidly and they
Yep.
die by the time they're
Progeria.
14. That's it, yeah.
But the thing is, these particular diseases we're talking about are about the base editing side, where you can literally take one of the 4 genome letters, which is GCAT or whatever the case may be, and you can swap that over, and you can do.
Impressive.
Yeah, thank you,
It's
GCAT.
true.
Everyone can remember
Well,
GCAT.
it's actually
right?
really impressive because what Dr. David Liu has done is he's taken the search capability of CRISPR, he's added an extra bit to it that goes, I'm going to change that molecule or that letter, the base, to something else, and has added another bit, because if you think of the double helix, is it getting too technical?
Yes, I'm not even interested anymore because
I'm sorry, I stopped listening.
because again, what we've got to think about is why we're doing this, right? So
Yes.
from a medical perspective, what we're getting right down at the DNA level, and you can do this in embryos, you can do it in stem cells, you can do it on adults, you can do it on animals, you can do it on plants. The point is that we can now literally edit your DNA, right? That has massive implications for the medical field that we're talking
Yes.
about and actually curing disease.
Yes.
As usual, though, what we always like to talk about is if you can do it well, or the good people can do it, the bad people can
Yeah.
do it as well. So if you look at just a quick brief history of gene editing, it started out with really hard ways of doing it, which no scientist was really interested in. It was hard and expensive. Then CRISPR came along and it became a little bit more accessible, a little bit cheaper to do.
99% cheaper.
Hey,
but
yeah,
carry on.
like a lot cheaper,
A little
absolutely.
bit.
But the point I'm trying to make is CRISPR itself, the original CRISPR-Cas9 discussions that you would have heard from 2015, wasn't as good as it sounded. There were issues, there were problems. It wasn't quite as precise as
Anyway.
maybe.
Well, because when you cut a gene,
Well, hang on. Let me make my point, though. Right. So it started off like, wow. Yeah, you shut up. Okay. It started off with something like,
Can
wow,
you
this
both
is
shut up?
no, this is super awesome. Then, with basically base editing, they said, okay, well, if you cut the whole double helix, that's a problem. It's a little bit too loose, right? Let's see if we can maybe do it's called a single side cut or something like that, where you just open the helix up and do your editing over there. That's base editing. And then with prime editing, you don't even cut the thing at all. You literally go in and you change the letters that you need to change. So that's sort of the short history of where we're at. It's becoming more and more precise. Don't look at me like I don't know
prime
what I'm
editing
talking
you
about.
cut. If you're a scientist, please switch off your YouTube channel right now.
Okay. You don't cut with prime editing. You don't have to cut with prime
Or
editing.
if you're one of his 5 friends, then please switch it off right now.
Five, including close family members.
Us, including us. Oh no, wait, we're not friends.
No.
Sorry, 3 friends. You
Yeah.
can switch it off. It's
He's
fine.
only here to make us look better. Seriously, like from a human perspective.
So
Oh.
gene editing aside, we were going to talk about 3 things. One was gene editing,
kind
of
true.
CRISPR.
Change
What was
the
the
subject.
second thing?
Sorry, Xenobots.
Xenobots.
Why is
Yes.
it even related? Who thought of that? Oh yeah. What are Xenobots, Mr. Cyborg?
It's cute that you think you thought of it.
Let's
That's just
talk
fascinating.
frogs, skin, heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Guess you read the YouTube article.
So
You don't
a
read
bunch of
YouTube articles.
scientists decided that they're going to figure out how they can combine a frog's heart cells
Yes.
and its
Skin
Skin
cells.
cells.
Yep.
and make that newly created thing do cool stuff. But where technology gets involved is instead of
Wow, for somebody who's quite technical, that really wasn't very good.
yeah, I just got hammered because I was giving you a proper technical description
Let's
of things,
start
and you
with-
said it's too
Hang on.
technical.
Okay, so we've packed away suddenly CRISPR, which I was just warming up on. So, what are Xenobots? Let me tell you what Xenobots are, right? So basically, here's a situation where we're creating a brand new species, a brand new organism, and we're doing this, as Speedo was saying, by taking skin cells, heart cells. They've got very different things. Like skin cells stay relatively static, heart cells contract. And if you put them all together, you can actually create something
Yeah.
that moves.
Yep.
Like, I don't know if you can see my hand, but it kind of moves along.
And if you damage it, it repairs itself.
Correct. It's a living organism, right? But here's the interesting part, right? Because you can engineer a living organism, you can actually tell it what to do. So now you've got computers and AI controlling what a living organism can do. Now, why is it interesting?
That is wrong.
That is not
Computers
wrong.
are not controlling.
No,
what
they
the
are
living-
designing
Uh-huh.
what they want the living organism
Correct.
to do,
Correct.
which is a form of control.
Like a
Come on, give
swarm
me a
of
break.
It's not
Xenobots
control.
into a human body to attack cancer cells.
That's got nothing to do with computers yet. What we've used machine
No, hang
learning
on. I
to
think
do.
she's spot on, right? You've given it a job to do, and it does
Yes,
that
they
job.
program the cell.
No. No,
Yes.
The computers, as you put it,
I didn't say.
or
Did I say
machine
computers?
learning, yes.
Did I say computers?
the machine
going.
learning.
Keep correcting what was
Programming.
already right.
Programming.
He's going to make it look like it was his
yeah,
idea.
programming the Xenobots to go into, say, potentially a human body and attack cancer cells.
It sounds as if there is a computer that is coding what the Xenobot should do. That's not actually how it works.
That's not what I'm
the,
saying.
What the machine learning has
No,
done.
please continue.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
What the machine learning has
You have
done
10
is
seconds.
figure out the right combination and the right shape of that combination between the heart cells and skin cells
To
for the cell to do any behavior.
correct. So that
Could
was
be.
very different to what Jack was saying. Anyway, but the point being, and there's lots of applications. For example, imagine you created Xenobots that could find and either gather or eat or destroy microplastics in the ocean.
Right, yes.
And that's great. You go, oh
Yes.
wow, we've just made a solution for the ocean.
Yeah.
But of course, going back to my original point, we don't actually know what happens when we release this into
Correct.
the wild. But there is good news because it's human. It's not human. It's an organism. When it dies or dissipates, it just goes back
Well, what
into
is it?
nature.
It's like 7 to 10 days at the moment.
At the moment.
Say, for instance, you can go beyond that 7 to 10 days where they just, biodegrade, basically. Then,
So how do you unpress the button? That's the
Yes.
question, right?
yes,
So that's
that is the question.
Yeah, that's the anti-CRISPR side of things, and maybe you want to enlighten us a little bit as to
What I really like about you guys
is that we agree with
you
each other.
take a technology show and turn it into something about ethics.
Well, we care about.
Mind you,
we care
ethics
about
and
people.
regulation is probably my specialty. But
Regulation
that
of
aside,
boredom.
you're pressing
So-
that way too often.
I'll press it as much as I want.
Yeah. We got feedback.
Remember
and
the
chose to
thing-
ignore it.
But what you guys have missed out on, given that this is a technology show, is how technology is actually helping with CRISPR or
Okay.
with Xenobots.
Sure, tell us.
Well, CRISPR, as you put it out, if you're cutting bits and pieces and the cell tries to, heal that gene, it can have side effects that we don't really know. So we're actually using machine
I think
learning.
Sven already said that, FYI.
But we are using machine learning to try and identify what those side effects may be. In fact, Microsoft have gone and done this whole algorithm thing, blah, 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 on Azure, and they've made it available for
Are you
free.
working for Microsoft?
Absolutely.
Okay, now, whilst you say this is a technology show, it's also in a pub, and I'm running out of beer, right?
But it's
So-
also not about like being boring.
But the thing is, well, you're right. It's not about being. You can't
I know, you
have.
can't help it.
You cannot have an advanced technology discussion without talking about ethics, without talking about
Correct.
the implications. That's why people in a pub talk in the
This
first
is
place.
actually
That's why I
about
talk
the
regulation.
But this is
Well,
about
did
the
you know?
impact
Fun
on
fact.
our lives,
There's no
your
fun-
lives.
Fun fact, the Xenobots.
Yeah, wait. Is it?
It is.
Is it?
Xenobots
Who
in
gave you the
US.
talking stick?
All the fun facts, like
Yeah, yeah.
fun. Speedo and fun are like.
To make a fun fact, the fact actually has to be fun. Go.
Xenobots in US are protected by the same rights as animals are.
Okay, not really fun.
That wasn't fun. Do you understand the
Amazing
concept
fact.
of fun? Should we show you?
You both have a smile on your face.
Because
It was a fun fact.
feel sorry for you.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Since I started talking about machine learning and technology,
Yeah.
we've done CRISPR wrongly but to death. We've done Xenobots incorrectly but to death. Halicin.
Tell us about Halicin.
Yeah, because you're
Come
the
on.
only one that researched it because you brought it up this morning, afternoon, on Saturday.
These guys don't read my blog. I'm not surprised.
Have you?
No one's read his blog.
So we've used machine learning to create a new antibacterial that's shown to kill more bacteria than anything we've had so far.
That's super interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, wow. Like
Think
we
about
need
all
more
those
bacteria.
diseases caused by bacteria. You were excited about genetic
Yep.
diseases.
Yeah,
What about
look-
the ones caused by bacteria?
You're quite right. We need to be able to separate good and bad bacteria, which is, I think, what you were trying to say, maybe.
No, we kill bad bacteria
Okay.
Yeah, but how do you
using
identify
machine learning.
bad bacteria?
That's what the scientists do.
Yeah,
In
well,
a supercomputer.
In this instance, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I know.
back to my question. How do you stop it? How do you unpress the button?
You don't?
So I think this is a really good opportunity to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now I'm going to go. He should always do the ugly, but I am going to go for the good because hey, I am good, and I think that with Xenobots, the potential to be able to release a swarm of them into a human body to detect cancer and kill those cells is a huge positive, right? That would end so much suffering.
Is it that potential?
Well, but that's what they're talking about.
Okay.
Potentially, or to be able to go in and repair like a damaged organ.
Get the plastics out of the ocean. It's all there.
Yeah. The bad.
The bad is what I've mentioned throughout this whole.
Episode.
Yes, thank you. You know, is the stop
Should we
button.
limit your intake?
No. When I'm not the designated
The
driver,
stop
I take my
button.
job very, very
Carry on.
seriously on
The
this
stop button.
beautiful Saturday afternoon. Look, the bad is the stop button, right?
Yes.
These are very serious things that we're playing with, and you know, some would say we're playing God, some would say we're messing with evolution. It doesn't matter. The point is we don't actually know how it will proliferate, whether it's Xenobots or CRISPR or some of the other things that we're doing in labs at the moment. We just don't know how it's going to work out, and we don't know how to stop it.
I'll cover the ugly.
Yes,
Just like
Done.
every other ugly in the last 2 episodes.
Okay, and we got it.
yeah, the ugly. Boom.
It's when we use it for evil. It's when you develop super soldiers.
Yes.
It's when you decide that you don't like a particular race or people of particular color, and you develop a technology to get rid of those people.
Yep.
Same with animals or anything else that is living.
That's
Yeah.
right. You could break a lot of things. That is the ugly. And we talked earlier on about designer babies as well. No,
That's not the ugly.
It is, man.
Nothing wrong with designer babies. If you want to have a baby that's tall and fit
But let
and
me ask you
healthy
this.
and whatever,
Hang on.
go forth and conquer.
Absolutely.
We already do
Hey,
that though.
I'm trying to break into your conversation here.
Please do.
Well, one thing I hate is when people talk while I'm trying to interrupt.
Are you bored? Because I'm definitely bored. So I'm just going to go straight into the whinge file.
Oh.
I have like,
The whinge file.
yeah. So my whinge at the
Why
moment.
don't you start?
Oh, of course. I always start. This is what I do, right? My whinge at the moment is hypochondriac. So what we see in public hospitals in Australia, that's for sure, is that people with the common cold or a sore throat, they go into hospitals and they take up the emergency room. And it does happen. Trust me, I know this. It does happen.
Thank you. Sven.
Are you done?
Yes.
Thank God, that took a long time. Okay.
I'm doing it on myself.
So you bored yourself. Okay, so mine is quite different actually. Although I don't know, medically, I can't use long words. I've had like 2 jugs of beer because I'm not the driver. Here is my whinge file. It's fast food joints, right? That pretend that they care about your health. Now let me tell you something. If a fast food joint cared about your health, the doors that are at the entry point of that fast food joint would be this wide. That's all I have to say.
Fantastic. My whinge is pseudoscience, astrology, superstition. Get rid of it and all the people that believe in it.
Okay, so I'm going to end the episode here.
Is that it? Just say that again. What are the 3 things?
Pseudoscience, astrology, superstition. Those energy healing.
But why can't...
Anything that is not proven by science.
So that's your belief, right? But people
No,
are
it's
allowed...
my whinge.
That's fair.
Alrighty,
Sorry.
okay, so if you have a whinge, please email us, go to Designated Driver, actually it's ddseries.com is the actual correct.
Just.com?
Just.com.
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 DD series?
ddseries.com. Email us, post to our Facebook page, Twitter, wherever you like.
Give us feedback so
Any
we can
comments,
ignore
tell us your whinge. What is your whinge? What are you saying? Is your whinge us? I would understand it.
it. Is your whinge
Okay.
him?
What is
Because I have a whinge on him every single day.
What is
However,
our next episode?
Well,
That's
I'm
a
glad
very
you
good
asked,
question.
because
We are so
obviously
prepared.
none of these guys have thought about it. No, I've thought about it.
Oh, go on.
Oh, you're going to change it?
No, you go.
No, you tell me
You
what
go.
the next episode.
I was going to say it should be about automated vehicles.
Well, that's what he was going to say.
That
so
is
we're
in
done.
fact our next episode.
Great
So-
minds think alike.
Stay tuned. Watch some whinge files after this and some feedback, and we are out. You're noticing there's a few videos missing because we have some shy people, but I'm going to read the comments out for you. And I'm going to remember to put my glasses on to make it easier. The chick comes across as a typical dumb female. Well, I guess if the shoe fits. You should hear how my co-hosts talk about me when I'm not in the car. Watch out for the bloopers from episode 3. Rebecca, I loved you hitting the buzzer. Every time I got bored, you hit it. Awesome. You're welcome. I'm not technical, so it's good to listen and not get too deep. I feel like I'm hanging out with you guys, and if I want to know more, I can research more. And I love this one because I really wanted people that weren't technical to get something out of it. Please don't get boring. I'm so sorry, but I can't make promises for my co-hosts. There are thousands of podcasts on tech. Love the pubs. So do we. I prefer augmented humans over cyborgs. Me too. The intro and banter is too long. Perhaps cut the entire car scene, but may have to change the name. I'm really sorry. I'd love to help you out, but it's Designated Driver. Whinge. People whinging. That was at the top of the whinge file by multiple people. And I'm so sorry because literally we whinge in every episode. Facts. Sven, I am with you. Can people get the facts straight on COVID-19? I had 1 square of toilet paper left. Oh, that's awkward. Thank you for your comments and your whinges. And yes, I am wearing lipstick and I am in a dress because it's cocktail hour. It's Designated Driver and I had to keep it interesting somehow. Please take care, everybody.